Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 6th of January 2020. So, back to normal from today, thank goodness. No more half-day tradings, no more days closed, all back to normal. So we should see some decent trades appearing, certainly in the Dow over the next few weeks, certainly with what's going on with Iraq as well. But the headline for Friday was stocks shrug off World War III risk, but bonds, bullion and Bitcoin surge to start the year. So let's have a look at these two markets. We'll start off with the Dow and the daily chart. And of course, they didn't surge too much on Friday because the market moved down following the bombing in Iraq. I see a lot of volume here. This is probably the highest we've seen for a long time. Overnight prices are down also, but I'm sure it won't take the Fed long to throw a few 100 billion into the market and bring it back, as we saw the market moving back on Friday there from the low here. There's 150 200, well, about 200 points there, bringing the market back. Very predictable, easy to read, as they keep bringing the stock prices back to the upside. Any other time in history outside of a manipulation, pre-2009, before QE, this market would be on its knees. So it just goes to show you what the continuation of pumping money and feeding it through the shadow banking system into the markets allows the Fed to do, and the US government. So the market trades down in the first bar. Next minute we get a 150 point move straight back to the upside. Stops at the 200 MA though, and then the market moves back before the market's free then to take out the 200 MA, and then we get a classic down, market moving up on low volume, 76% retracement, and the market trades back to the 200 MA once more. And again, before the close, we bring the market back to the highs. On the overnight, you can see we've got a gap down here. The market will need to fill this gap, and that's what the prices are currently doing at the moment. They've had the first attempt to close through the gap, which you can see here. At the moment, they've come back down and retested the low down here, which is the 28,500 level. But you can see a bit of buying coming into the market here on the overnight futures there. News-wise for today, what have we got? So Italy is closed today. Let's have a quick look at what we can expect for the rest of the week, as it's a Monday. Let's have a look. It's non-farm payrolls this week. That's one thing I do know. And that's, it's a bit of a quiet week news-wise, isn't it? Just look at this. Friday is the biggie, but otherwise not a lot to report as we get back into the first week of everybody being back at work. So Friday is the big one for this week. Meanwhile, in Bitcoin, this is the daily chart. We saw the market move higher on Friday. Hasn't really done a lot since then. A bit of a move on the upside on the overnight, closing above the 50 bar moving average, the blue line there. So a bit of movement in this market, trying to break out of the sideways move that we've seen in this market across here. And there's still resistance here that needs to be taken out as well. So still stuck in a bit of a sideways move, but moving to the upside at the moment, and also making rising lows as well. 4 hour similar, you can see how the market went quiet again, has moved up and then quiet again. Bit of a shakeout there and then back up, but still not enough momentum in this market to consider sitting there watching it. Needs a bit more to happen, and that's why at the moment prefer to trade the Dow or the DAX or any stock market because of the volatility that's being generated and the predictability. Of course, shake everybody out and then move the market back to the upside as well. Going back to the stock market, just to finish off here and get up to speed before the markets really get going this week. The implied volatility obviously spiking back up on Friday, but prices remaining above the 20 bar moving average, and you can see this in the color coded volatility one. You can see prices there are still above the 20 bar moving average, but closing above the average line in the volatility, which is why I've got it on amber alert there at the moment. So let's see how things pan out with the market, given that they've gapped lower, which we see here, and how they're going to react today. There is no other news apart from the war news, as it were. No economic news to move the markets. So let's see how things get going in the next hour or so. Okay, that will do it for this one. If there is anything else to report, I will let you know. Otherwise, as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.